Trying to live stream the Zoom meeting. Awesome. Okay. Got it. Please accept if you wish to be a part of the meeting. Has everyone accepted?
I have.
Okay. Ginger, just put a smiley face in the chat if you have. Ginger, can you hear me? Okay. And you accepted. I need a smiley face.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop.
I need a smiley face, Ginger. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so Ginger will join us when he can. He's on mute for the moment. I think there's like multiple things he's doing. But we can take this time to refresh and catch up to where we were, both players and audience, since it's been a whole month. And I had to watch some of it, which is really weird because I'm not a fan of my own voice, and I've never claimed to be a voice actor. And it was just kind of hard and tough for me to listen to, but I got through it. So last time, Greg, Sarndell, and Kronk, along with Mina, returned to the tavern, returned to their rooms after having met Universe. Mix as they are NB, though it's not really been mentioned. It is more apparent by their clothing and mannerisms that they don't really have. They're fluid. With like the cuff jeans and the sneakers, the t-shirt and the flannel, and the slit eyebrow, totally NB from the top to the bottom. And I made the character and I'm misgendering. That's fucked up. They examined Kronk, put them on the examining table. This white dentist type table that can apparently flip over and flip a person over and on their back and slide them around and all kinds of things. So that nice little personal roller coaster, if you will. And he checked into Kronk's back, his battery, and found that there was an extra slot for a reserve battery. Currently, he only has one that is a stock standard, can get him through 36 hours before needing a charge on normal use. Moderate. Severe use, probably less. And of course, mild, a whole lot more. Greg was so generous enough to use the credits that was given to him by Universe and purchased 2 batteries for Kronk. A regular one that can last him anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 months, and a performance version that can last anywhere from 3, maybe 4 weeks at minimum to 6 months at maximum. So having had that extra battery inserted, it can be a while before Kronk needs a recharge. So he's good to go for a little while. Everyone returned to the tavern. Still have a few things that have been left unanswered, more questions. We have the question of why did our main characters get essentially kidnapped from their false arrests, and why or how did Kronk become no longer flesh? What happened to his, body? What was replaced and what was not, if anything wasn't, or if anything was left over? Where is Sarndel's equipment? It has gone missing as it was taken from him upon his arrest. And will Greg take on the identity of a cyberpunk pirate? We will answer these questions here in this episode, hopefully, and probably find a few more questions that need to be answered. What, if anything, what would you guys like to start off the morning with?
So we're back at the inn.
Yep.
And what was the plan to go for the next day?
At the moment, it is optional. You have the whole world to you. Nikolai did offer to have you work for him, basically, in escorting a caravan to a nearby town that he does business with. A few others do business as well, but it's not a major vein of trade, so a lot of people haven't really been missing it. He has, because he's got friends, and he likes the area, and it gets him some good supplies locally, cheaply.
Wow.
And you are welcome to take on this job. He hasn't made any plans for it to go until you accept, unless somebody else takes the job instead.
So I guess first off, I'm going to check how much money that Universe gave Sarndel.
I believe you have the full amount. I don't think you spent anything. So you would have 2 gigs, which essentially equates to 2,000 megabytes.
Okay.
Yeah. Hyper Kitty. Whoa. Okay. I thought he ran into the wall.
Silly kitty.
He jumped up on top of a shelf, so it was just loud. Fat kitty. Fat kitty. I want to say, yeah, that's what you have is 2 gig. Anyways, so,
right,
because that is also what Greg received, but he used some of his already.
Right.
Kronk has a file that he received in his glove with the back of his hand, and he has not looked at yet. Just so you're aware.
Okay.
Because it was received in the shop, and there was absolutely no one was curious. No one really pushed the issue.
Well, Kronk was unconscious, wasn't he? Under service?
No, this was in the store when he received the file.
Right, but before he shut down or after he shut down?
After when you had him revived up.
Right.
When the battery was
Um,
purchased.
Yes, when the battery was purchased and you almost dropped the expensive item that was in your hands because you were not expecting that.
Right.
So that is that. But speaking of files, Sarndell, your ring starts to beat.
All right. Check it out.
Okay. It is a message. And it is looks to be in code, but as it plays, it becomes uncoded. Kind of like a GIF.
Mm-hmm.
And it says police auction this afternoon. Items of interest. And then it shows a list of all of the stuff that was taken from you, including some others, many others, like other people who have had weapons and other things confiscated from them,
Right.
as well as some, out of commission police stuff.
Mm.
And at the very bottom, it says, interested? Universe.
I immediately hit yes. And I rub my forehead and look at Greg. So we're going to a police auction.
You don't say. Greg is like in the corner, stretching with just his t-shirt and pants, belt, basics,
Mm. Well, I mean, at least I have to. They're selling my spear, which is a connection to my god, and I need it. I can't get another one, and I need to get it back.
Ah, right. That thing. Ah, how? Oh, that was. Did you receive that in the academy?
No, it was a gift from the family. It's is a focus for the shadow magic that I use.
Oh, you mean like the cane Granny had? And he's kind of making it a light subject.
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Granny's cane. How big is your spear, by the way? Out of context.
It's a one-handed spear. It's a basically technically it's about like a quarterstaff size.
Okay, so it's like a light throwing spear, not a what do you call it?
Long spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a long spear.
Okay.
It's so I can I have a spear and a shield as my fighting style.
Okay, then his little joke would fit. Okay.
Yeah.
Granny's cane. Because it was handed down. It's an inheritance.
Right.
Okay.
A walking stick.
It's a walking stick.
Walking stick, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Greg is popping all his, parts and getting kind of stretching out. Where are we gonna go for this?
I look back at the invitation. Does it have an address?
You see a reply. The address is a website.
I was getting ready to say, wouldn't they recognize us? Or you all?
What did you say, Ginger?
Wouldn't they recognize you all? Is there a way to remotely bid on items? I was thinking that.
Okay.
Yeah. We would have to go in disguise. but as long as they don't know that they're looking for us, they won't really be looking for us.
I mean, you look at the reply, and the website that it leads you to shows that there is an online option. You can bid anonymously, if I can say it right.
Sweet. All right. Well, then just have to make sure I have enough money for it.
Okay.
We'd also need a place for them to send it, or is it a pickup?
It first requires you to register before you can get any of that other information. But it does ask for a physical address.
Well, we're going to have to find a physical address. I wonder if Mr.
Well,
Universe will be able to
wouldn't-
help us.
Wouldn't that be a good thing with Nikolai? Since he is a transporter of such goods, couldn't he do a pickup?
That's a good idea.
That sound. I second that option.
All right. Well, let's go to Nikolai and ask him.
Oh, let's
And
skip right
see
to
if you can use his physical address. Or does he have a physical address? He kind of lives with
Maybe
his
this
caravan,
bar?
doesn't he?
Perhaps. Who knows?
Well, let's go. Greg leans down, ties up his boots, and grabs his coat, slings it around, and puts it on his black leather, and affixes his earring back on his ear, and stands up, heads over to the door, and pauses. Wasn't there 4 of us yesterday?
Look around for the little girl android. Or was she staying with us, or did she go back to her shop?
You look around the room, and
The
what's
last
your
thing I remember was her flying out of the pipe,
Yep.
going.
What are you searching, Sarndell? You're searching the whole room, or?
We're in the inn. Is that where we are right now?
Yep, you are in the room that had the 2 bunk beds and the kind of love seat couch.
Yeah,
So let me paint the picture of this room, because this is kind of where you're going to be for the next, who knows. So you're in Wharfburg, and you're in the tavern that is decorated to be like a traditional tavern. Wood floors, wood walls, maybe some brick here and there, beams going across, some tavern-esque torches and sconces. Your room is not too different from that. Wood floor, wooden sides. There is a window that can be opened. It has shutters on the inside for privacy. You can open them through sliding, so because the room is kind of small, so it doesn't open like a door. It just slides like a barn door. And has some of that barn door rustic-esque look to it, where the refurbished or upcycled, wood that's brought back to life or whatever and polished. You have bunk beds. They are like twin size, so a little bit more than full, less than queen. The comforters are nice and plush. The bed cushion is actually nice and soft, kind of a micro memory foam type of deal, same as the pillows. Stairs that go up to the second bunk, and there's enough headspace. not good enough there, and it's not like some kind of Navy ship dock. It's roomy. It's kind of like it's just a nice little loft up top, and there's a I can't remember what it's called. There's an empty glass in the ceiling. Let's light through. Skylight. Yes, thank you.
Like,
So there's a skylight in the center of the room, lets down natural light, so you don't have to have the windows open. And there is a couch for guests. There's a rug center in the middle. There is a coffee table. There's an end table on next to the couch. There are pictures on the walls. They're very nice. Kind of painterly style of like nature scenes and whatnot. And on the end table, on the other side of the couch, is a note. And it's actually written in paper, which is kind of different, but not uncommon. And it is from Mina. And it says, system update needed. Have to go back. Join you as soon as I can. Turn on locators so I can find you in 3 hours. Or I'll be back at the tavern. Love, Mina. Do you relay this to everyone?
Yep. I read it out loud for everybody to hear.
Greg takes a breath and is like, oh, well, at least she's keeping, a secret. So, like, in 3 hours, we turn on our locators and she'll find us? Is that the ideal?
I assume she's talking about you two, because I don't think I've gotten a new one yet.
We still have some questions about you, so unfortunately, like, we have to wait for Universe to ask more questions, so we might have to put a
You
pin
have
in that.
questions about me? I have
Absolutely.
questions about me.
Absolutely do I have questions about you. Like, how long have you always been this way? No, wait, it happened at the prison, right?
Sorry, I was nodding my head.
Unless you want to turn on your video, that's not gonna happen. Not gonna help.
No, it's not. I have
okay.
like a 32-ounce bottle of water, a giant jug of cranberry juice, and a big lemonade. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Kronk nods, and Greg is like, "Well, I won't. We'll just wait, because I'm sure like this is all new to you. This is just weird, bizarro. This is what it is. It's bizarro."
Well, I don't think you caught the sarcasm. Well, you have questions about me. I have questions about me.
No, yeah, I'm aware of that. Shakes his head. This world is, anyways. So he goes and he turns around and he goes to the door, and he puts his hand on it, and it does a whoosh as it slides to the left, because of course conserving room. It looks like a tavern inn, but of course there's a lot more modern things to it, so it slid to open to let everyone out upon touch. And he goes on and goes around the corner down the hall to the tavern where you guys came in, and he's gonna order breakfast. Are you guys gonna follow?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, because I think I still had to eat.
Okay. So, Yes, your and her insides kind of feel a little empty. It feels like a normal, almost like a normal stomach. You could eat something. Um, not sure how this works, but gonna roll with it, right?
For sure.
For sure. Um, so you guys catch up, and Greg is at the tavern bar, looking at a menu, looking at the breakfast foods, and Betty is standing right there, ready to take his order. And hello, good morning. Nice to see you all feeling good and refreshed. With the bed's nice and comfy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything is good.
Oh, wonderful. Good to hear. Good to hear. What would you guys like to have for breakfast? Are you I bet you're hungry. And like I said, it's on the house. You're part of the guild now.
Ooh. Well, I guess I'll have to look at the menu.
Looking at the menu, Greg probably hands it over to you after he's ordered. You can see regular breakfast items. Most of them are protein based: eggs, steak, some hash browns, ham, of course, a lot of meats.
Nice. Well, definitely a steak and eggs for breakfast.
Sure. She takes her order, gets all the specifics that you need, and she looks at Kronk. And for you, what can I get you?
I guess eggs
Okay. Scrambled?
and scrambled eggs and coffee.
Sure. Absolutely. I'm on it. And she writes it down, turns around, and there is a screen that she looks at, and she just starts entering in all of the information. It's just this little blue touch screen on the wall. Doesn't look too out of place, but doesn't, blend in either. What are you guys doing? Are you still looking for Nikolai?
Yeah, because we have to ask him for the.
Okay.
About the transporter job.
All right. Are you looking in the tavern?
Yeah.
But also,
Oh, well,
where did Greg
ask
go?
I'm going to ask the waiter or the waitress if Nikolai's around.
Okay. Betty finishes putting in the order, and she turns around. Is there anything else I can get you?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Greg's like,
I thought you were gonna ask the waitress a question.
Yeah, I'm asking the waitress if Nikolai is around.
you can ask Betty. She's pretty much the staff manager.
Oh, see, that's what I was thinking. I was like, Betty's the waitress. Wait, why is he saying no?
No, she was just, she asked, can I get you anything else was the second thing. And so I was like, nope, I'm good.
Right. Okay.
I'm
Come here, cat. So you see several people going in and out, and there's some people going past behind the bar. At the other end, closer to the kitchen, going in and out with plates and stuff. You see one person come in or go out with a really big tray with a lot of food on it. Who you gonna ask?
I thought you said we could ask Betty.
Oh, well, ask her. She's right there.
That's who I asked. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna. Okay, I thought you were gonna role play it. I didn't say. I didn't know you were like. Oh, that's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, see, that's why I was like, wait, didn't we have a question for Miss Betty?
Okay, so you ask Betty, and she says, "Oh yeah, no, he'll be here. He's a little late. He's usually the first person in here in the morning. He really loves our breakfast tarts, which would be the equivalent of a crepe. He loves the cherry. Uh, but
Right.
I'm sure if you wait long enough, he'll show up. He's usually here. And as she says that, he actually comes walking in and he's like, Betty, how are you doing? Puts his hand on the counter.
Right
Oh,
on.
you just lovely now that you're here, hun. These gentlemen were asking about you, actually. And
I
Nikolai's
give
like,
I give
really?
him a wave.
Hey, and
Speak of
he claps
Santa
you on
Claus
the
and he
shoulder.
will appear.
What?
Speak of Santa and he'll appear.
He claps Sharndell on the shoulders, like, how are you doing? It's a big old broad hand. It's almost as big as your entire shoulder. It's maybe 3/4 of the way, and he's a big guy. If he wasn't part
Mhm.
or part, mountain troll or part giant, you'd swear at least he was an orc. But he's got that human face. Just
Right.
a
Right.
big old guy with a big old beard.
Big old guy
Um,
with a big old beard. Hold on.
Standing at almost 7 feet tall. So what you
Nikolai, I
need?
got a favor to ask you.
Oh, another one. Might have to start
Yeah.
charging you. And he laughs, Freckles.
Listen, the cops are selling off a heirloom of mine, and I need access to it. They have a anonymous online bidding, but it's not quite anonymous because they need a shipping address to send it to.
Yeah. They will make it. You know what? Just put the tavern on there. Don't worry about it. That's a public address. You really don't need to have an actual physical office. They will ask you where you want it to be shipped to afterwards anyway. So I don't know why they still have that there. Nobody really pays mind to it. Just put the tavern address and we'll figure it out.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Quick question. Were we sitting on like bar stools or are we sitting on like chairs?
Unless you tell me different, you're standing.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
I don't know. I'm
more of
imagining things
a
in my head then.
literal my brain, I will continue with whatever is in the scene previously until you change it. So if you walk around and come out to the bar, you're still standing because you were walking.
Okay.
Okay.
Make sense? So if you want to sit at the bar, there are bar stools. If you want to sit down at a table or a booth, describe it to me. Otherwise, you're standing at the bar, and Nikolai is also standing, and his hand is firmly clamped. Well, not firmly, comfortably on Sarandell's shoulder, which I'm assuming, in my mind, it is his left hand on your right shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be Ugh, cranberry juice makes me funny. I'd hop up onto a bar stool
Okay.
and kind of swivel back and forth. You know,
Are
like a
you
standing patient.
in proximity to Greg? Are you, because Greg is sitting down on a bar stool. Are you anywhere near him?
I was right behind, or
Behind
right beside Nikolai and behind names
Greg?
shooting Sarandel
Okay.
before we walked in.
So you're just gonna pick the nearest bar stool, so you'll be behind.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pick the nearest one.
Okay. So the I don't want to say. Well, I'm sorry.
Swiveling back and forth though.
Okay. So for visual, it is you. Then next to you is Sarndell standing. Next to him is Nikolai. 2 or 3 seats over is Greg, and on the other side of the bar is Betty. We got it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the front
do
door
you
is like
all
15
ever-
feet behind him. Do what?
Nikolai, do you ever pick up shipments like that from police?
Oh, all the time. I pick up shipments wherever, anywhere. Just it takes me all over the place. I will pick up from one place, go to another. It's better if I'm, picking up several in the same area. It's cheaper for customers that way. But I go anywhere, everywhere. I go over the mountain, even, which not a lot of people do. And if you'll recall, actually, somebody who does anybody want to know about the mountain?
The months?
Mountain.
Oh, mountain.
I thought I heard months. I was thinking
Yeah.
what?
I need to enunciate. Thank you.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah, he says
I'm
he goes
also,
over the mountain all the time.
No. Well, I'm busy online entering the address for the tavern to get my
Mhm.
spear back.
And as you finish, you notice that there is a minimum for each item. Several items, they have like a base starting bid. Your spear is starting at 2 gigs.
Well, great. So if anybody else bids on it, I can't buy it. That's gonna suck.
Do you say this out loud, or
Yeah.
Greg kind of pipes up? Yeah, looks like somebody knows it's worth something.
Mm. Yeah. It's not very often you see an entire spear made of obsidian.
No, you don't.
but do you think you could see more than one?
On the list, there probably isn't.
No. I mean in general.
Oh, maybe it's possible. I mean,
Well,
all I know is it's a family heirloom, and I was told not to ever lose it. And then, of course, I got thrown in jail.
Greg pipes up. Even if there was another one, it probably isn't attuned to. What was the patron you work with again?
The Raven Queen.
But is
Yeah,
it
her.
listed as being attuned to her?
No, it is not listed in as Sarndale looks at it. It's not listed as it's attuned to anything. It's just listed as spear, obsidian. Minimum starting bid is 2 gig. Which, if
Spin
you
around and
recall,
look
is
at it.
what?
Sorry, go on.
No, go for it.
I was saying I'd spin around and look up at both of them. So you think there could be another one, and you receive shipments, or you pick up shipments like this all the time.
Oh, Nikolai pipes up. Oh, no, I don't. What are you? I pick up locations. What's the item you're looking at? And he kind of leans over. And do you show him what you're looking at on your
Yep.
ring? Okay.
Yep.
So the projection comes up and it shows the list of items, and you point specifically to that item. He's like, "No, I ain't seen one of those. I pick up from the police station all the time, but items like that, I've picked up maybe an obsidian ring, but nah, not a full spear."
Dang.
Sometimes I wish I wasn't a good person.
Greg kind of lifts his eyebrow at you.
Wait, at which one? Me for suggesting switching out the spear without saying it, or him for what he just said?
For him, for Sarndell, for what he just said. He just raises an eyebrow.
It would be
Uh,
so much easier to be a criminal, I think.
At this point, Nikolai looks at you. You know. Nah. How about you really need this item, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, how about I could give you a loan?
And I'll work it off.
That's basically
That would
what's
be
gonna have
easy.
to happen. You're gonna owe me, and kind of be an indentured servant for a little bit. I don't like having people owe me, but you seem like good people, and if that's an heirloom, I don't like to see, traditions broken.
Yeah. Well, and it also gives me access to the Raven Queen's blessings, and without it, I've lost most of my abilities.
Hmm. Well, let's look at it. And he kind of takes a closer look and starts screening and like scrolling through the website. And looks like we got about 2 days as the deadline. Yeah. If it's starting at 2 gig, I wouldn't be surprised.
Stop trying to kill me, cat.
I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being at least 10 times worth that much. So, I will. I'll help you out. It's gonna take me some time, but I will have what you need before the deadline. So, I am gonna need. I'm gonna need you to escort the. I'm gonna be putting you to work as soon as you get it. That's for sure.
I appreciate that.
Nah, not a problem. You guys are good people. I saw what you did to that knoll. And taking a look at him, you kind of think, he could have taken care of the knoll just as easily. But, compliment's a compliment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and he was asleep.
Yeah. So at this point, Betty comes around and she starts putting out plates, all kinds of food in front of you. Greg has gotten himself a breakfast burrito smothered in anything and everything. It's huge, with little plates here and there. He ordered a smorgasbord. He probably hasn't eaten this good in a while. And then she also brings
I
out
hope he
your
doesn't
guys'
get
plate.
sick.
Huh?
Looking over his food, don't say, I hope he doesn't get sick.
Greg's like, oh no, I will not get sick. As long as it's cooked right, I'm gonna. This is gonna be good. And he just starts digging into it. Your steak and eggs are come out, and the steak and coffee is placed out, and the coffee has several little cups, pour teacups around it. One with milk, one with sugar, and various other items that can be put into a coffee. Of course, the reserve, so you can have more if you wish, and other things, hot sauce for the eggs or whatnot. Nikolai's like, oh, all that makes my tummy rumble. If you excuse me, I'm gonna go order my own, and I'll see you guys around. All right?
Again, thank you.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your breakfast.
You as well. He just walks off and goes back to his very special booth in the very special corner. Um, and you kind of it's there are a lot of booths that could house him, but it seems like that one is very much customized for him. Um, Probably either because he was once the owner of the tavern, or just the fact that he's a regular. Anybody would be treated that well. Greg is chowing down. What are you guys doing? Are you guys
Yep, eating food. Yum 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 yum. Yum.
okay? Kronk.
Sitting back around, sipping on my coffee,
You fix your
picking at my
coffee
eggs.
the way you want. You fix your eggs the way you want. You start to eat, and it feels mostly the same. It's not, you know, it doesn't really, can't really tell any difference. Like it doesn't, you kind of feel your throat, kind of move, and you swallow, and it hits your stomach. You can feel the warmth. It's the same as normal. You would still never tell that you were, you know, different.
Fake.
What'd you say?
So I said fake.
Fake. It's fake. Yeah. Synthetic.
So is the blue light on the glove constantly lit up, or does it flash every once in a while?
It does flash like as a reminder that you still have a file that you haven't looked at. It's not like constant, but it is like once every 10, 20 minutes.
I'd look up at Sarndell. How likely is it that they would send a message thinking I would open it, being stupid, and then know exactly where I was?
Well, we've got all new Sims, so I don't think this person is someone who's trying to catch you.
Wait, did I get a new one? I thought he only gave two.
Oh,
One for you and one for Greg.
It was one for Greg and one for Sarndell. Yep. But the universe did have you flipped over on your stomach and had your back open, and he was doing all kinds of things. So you're not sure exactly what he did, but he might have done something similar.
And okay, so this is kind of a sidebar. Would I get a small description like a regular email? Or would it just show up as like file?
Do you look at it?
Ooh. Oh, this is a hard choice.
Because you can look at it. How about, okay, I think what you're asking, you can look at it without opening it.
Yes, that's exactly what I was asking.
Okay, yes, you can definitely see it without you can see the description and stuff without actually getting into it.
Honey. I know I'm not sitting down right now. You can fall asleep on the back of the chair.
Evil Kitty's like, no.
Yeah, she wants me to be sitting down so she can sleep on me. But then she gets mad at me when I get up. So after taking another bite of my eggs, I would open it up just to see what the description of the file is.
Okay, so you see it. It's kind of like the email where it has a to and from, and it's from Universe. And the caption says, you're probably going to need this. Don't spend it all in one place.
Oh. Well, since it's from Universe, I go on and open it up to see what the message is, what the full message is.
So the file opens up and it reveals that you now are in possession of 5 gig credits And then it also has an update that is pending. That universe has enlisted as anonymous proxy access, an onion file.
Oh, I guess now would be a good time as any to do an update.
Are you gonna do that?
I mean, we are just sitting here eating breakfast at the moment.
So you hit accept.
Yeah, go on and
Okay.
click the update button.
So the update opens up, and you feel a little tingly. Feel a little it's a weird sensation. Kind of like a little bit of buzzing in your head. If you were to
Like a little lightheaded.
No, not necessarily lightheaded. More like if you were to place your head on a speaker, a big old speaker, and it was a bzz, 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 bzz. And your eyesight kind of blurs just a little bit. Everything's a little not quite too, not seeing double, but everything has
It's a
like a
little
little.
fuzzy, like when I'm not wearing my glasses.
There you go. There you go. Yep, a little fuzzy on the outer edges. Um, you can tell it's working, and it's probably something you would want to not be there for, although it's not necessarily uncomfortable.
I should have done this last night.
While you was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And from the feel, it does not look like it's not going to quit anytime soon. It might be a little while. So you're gonna be at a disadvantage for the most part.
Erp.
So if you were to say get into combat, your attack rolls would be at a disadvantage. Basically, your sight and so dexterity. Anything that requires a dexterity check is going to be at a disadvantage. For the time being, and but you can still eat your eggs. You might be a little sloppy. You might not quite get your mouth all the way, but you know, you can manage.
Kronk, first day with the new mouth.
You could say that. First day with the realization of a new mouth. I know, sit down.
You can, if you look down at the bar, you see Greg. You imagine you probably look like him because he is just shoveling that food in his mouth. He's got pieces or little, gravy and sauce dripping down his lips, and he's just shoveling that food in.
Jeez, Greg.
What? It's good.
Have a little
I
bit
choked a little
of
bit on my coffee
decency.
on the side of it.
What did you say?
I choked a little bit on my coffee at the side of it.
No.
It's good. I haven't eaten this good in a while, man. You should have some. Try it. It's good.
I just continue eating my steak and eggs like a proper gentleman.
I say it low enough just for Sarandel to hear me. At least I'll blend in.
Yes.
So you have about 2 days. We can skip through if you like, or if you want to do some exploring, investigating. What would you guys like to do?
Well, Sarndell would wait until the auction, probably.
I was gonna say if they want to go exploring, it might be better for me to like take it easy, wait with Miss Betty at the bar for a while.
Okay. You talk to Miss Betty?
Yeah, let's talk to Miss Betty.
Okay.
Miss
It
Betty, Miss
is
Betty.
late. It is rip R.I.P. Betty White. Um she loves she wants to talk. She loves talking, and the fact that it's later in the morning, it's not quite so busy. You've got her full attention, or she's got hopefully your full attention. Um and she starts telling you about the local area. She's been in Wharfburg her entire life, never really traveled outside of it. Of course, it's a really big city, so it's um, she explored the entire city, and that's about as much exploring as she's done. But she knows this place inside out, and it really you kind of gather that it would take a lifetime to explore this place. It's so huge and intricate, and there's so many different areas and cultures, and like I described the first time around, there buildings on top of buildings on top of buildings. It looks like one type of structure on the bottom, and then making it load bearing, and then adding another structure on top that with a different style, and then adding a two-story next to that. With a completely different style, red brick on one, gray siding
Oh,
or concrete on the other, and they've got all banners, and you've got the main trolley that goes through on the main ground, but then you also have a high-rise trolley that goes up around the second level, or actually, it's not a second level. It would be it's another level, but it's probably like 5 or 6 stories up top, and the fifth and sixth story up top, their designs are completely different from the bottom levels. They're a lot more fancier. They're a lot more um, uh, properly designed, you might say, intentionally designed, not necessarily just um, what do you call it?
built.
Do what?
They're not necessarily just built for habitation
Right.
or places
The
of
bottom
employment.
ones are like necessity. They're the first ones there, but they weren't didn't have a lot of money, didn't have a lot of design. But the higher you get up, the more elite it is, basically. And you have white siding, and you have blue shutters, and um,
It kind of looks
the
more residential.
kind of, yeah, a little more residential. Although you can tell that in the third and fourth there's still residential, but it's kind of a working class. It looks like New York apartments, and they've got clothing lines string between, um, over the street, even um, between buildings. Um, yeah, and the second level with the trolleys, there are sidewalks that reach out to the trolleys, or sidewalks that go between building fronts. They're like huge, 8 foot wide um, parliaments with nice, kind of like being in a mall, where you've got the center open and you can look down, but you also have those bridges between sections on the second floor. Um, it's just the big old walkways going against the buildings, and the trolleys are going through, either going under the bridges, um, and around. There's a lot of mechanics, a lot of working um, gears and refinery mechanical parts. Not a lot of sonic or synthetic or silicone type. There are some. There's hints of it. You think that maybe if you were to do a little bit of a touristy thing, you could find an area um, where there was more of a sleek look to it, and it was all um, modern. It's a little bit more of a streamlined look, is what I'm trying to say. I think the subway that you were in kind of has a combination. There is a dock for what would be a old-fashioned train, but then there's another train, another section that you, if you will, could go to, and it is more of the electromagnetic trains that hover and lift and move. So it's got a combination of the two. Um, it's a huge city. It's a big city. It's as big as it's as tall as it is wide. Um, all kinds of cultures, and she just tells you just a little bit about everything and how it came to be. The fact that it's started off with smiths and crafters and workers and the revolts that happened in that area and how they're just very independent but also very union focused. They are not a big fan of the Lou Hall and Loyalist city states. They're probably in direct opposition of them if they didn't coexist peacefully for the last 250 years. They are very much into, you could say they're anarchist. They're very much for the self-governing side of things. They think people are, most of them work, well with each other, and they expect respect if they give it. They're not so much into the control. Punishment, sure, but not really like the military aspect of and then of course the intellectual property part of Lil Hole is a bit bullshit. It's bullshit because, culture. People live off of each other's ideas and grow and expand. And you almost think she was like, you know, free love type of a person, but she's very businesslike. And she leans in, she says, I don't know how much longer this is going to last. Personally, these last 25 years have been a little less than copacetic, if you get what I'm saying. And you look at her, she doesn't look that old, but with what she said, you think maybe she might be closer to 75, maybe 80, but she only looks 30, 35 maybe, middle age almost. What's going through your head? Do you have any
The Thrilling Adventures of Miss Betty.
adventures of what?
The Thrilling Adventures of Miss Betty.
Miss Betty. Yep. Nope, she's very much a local, and she'll tell you anything you need to know about that place. Actually, where's my just tell you about the technology and how it has kind of changed, but it's also, there are areas that want to upgrade. There are communities that want to upgrade, and then there are communities that are like, we like what we've got. I'm looking.
So, what's your favorite place, Miss Betty?
Well, I think you're looking at it. I really do like this here old, basic style. It's very comforting. It's, shows craftsmanship and people doing things with their hands and not relying on machines quite as much as we do now.
It's home.
Oh, very much so. Um,
So, if you don't mind me asking, what makes you what do you mean the last 25 years have been?
oh, you know, well, you know how, of course, you must know how they do the rotating thing, yes?
Kind of.
government?
I
Yeah.
spend most of my time in the woods.
Oh, you poor thing. You don't know? Well, every 10 years, a new governorship shows up in the area. Um, we allow the other city states to come through and they pretend like they're going to make changes and they give us new instructions that we have to take out. And then there's, this whole thing, this Congress that they talk, where they talk about how they're going to implement the changes and whether or not it's going to be useful, blah, blah, blah. And usually, after the 2 years that they spend here, by the time they leave, almost nothing has changed. Um, and it's just, in my opinion, a waste of taxpayer money. But that's the rotation has gone for the last 250 years. And so this last 2 years, of course, has been the I think we're coming up to the end of the loyalists term, and we're going to be coming. Where I think after the celebration is Lowell Hall, if I'm right. Uh, and you know, 10 years ago, back when we had loyalists, before they were a little more aggressive with their negotiations, as from what I understand, from what I remember. We almost had to shut this tavern down with some of the changes that they wanted to implement, and it put a lot of people out of work, and a few other stores locations shut down, and really was not good for business. And it took a few years for us to shake it off. It wasn't until like the Aurorans, I think, or yeah, the Aurorans, they usually have our back. Um, because we trade all kinds of stuff, and a lot of times they want materials that we have. Here we go. So yeah, they helped us undo a lot of what the loyalists wanted, and with their permission, we were able to get things straightened out. But and they
It
were
really
they were
sounds like they did more harm than good.
oh, very much so, very much so. What's worse is that uh, they came back around this time, and they acted like they were surprised. They were very surprised at the fact that there was so much change from their last visit. It had been 10 years, and several other, um, you know, city state governs that visited, and they acted like the changes were supposed to be permanent. And as everyone knows, that's not guaranteed. That's why we have this rotating thing. That way, it's not doesn't become a dictatorship. They don't force us to do things that we don't want to do. Um,
It kind of sounds like they wanted it as a dictatorship, though.
it's wouldn't put it past them. And her face kind of gets down towards a scowl. She's quite concerned with it. And I've heard some people say that the Aurorans, no, the Luhul, they're working quite closely with the loyalists lately here, and that's concerning because they never used to agree. In fact, the reason that we have this rotation is because those two couldn't get along. The idea that they actually might pair up is she kind of looks
Scary.
into the distance and trails off her sentence, not saying anything else. Anyways, so
Wouldn't a unified government be better?
a lot of people say that, and to some extent, it sounds, like a great idea, but I think what we have now is a unified government. What they want would not unify anyone. Or if it did, it would be forcibly and not a pleasant thing. We here in Warfork, we work just fine. We have our problems, we have our issues, but every city state does. Even Vorak with their high and mighty and their, godly, worthy, holier than thou attitude, they have their issues, and but if loyalists or uh Lohal were to have their way, if they were to get together, that would be that each
Disastrous.
one, that would be disastrous. Each one, I believe, wanted to conquer the entire um, nation of Ukraine, and if they got together, that they probably could do it. They probably would, and I don't think life, well, things just wouldn't be the same.
Hmm.
Oh, but that's just that's not really, shouldn't really happen. We have a nice system. It's lasted for over 2 centuries. And of course that's what the next year festival is all about, the success of what is going on and how well it's worked all this time. So which, by the way, where are you guys going to go for the festival? I'm probably going to leave and go to Aurora, and I've heard that they are going to put on a spectacular light show, and I want to see it.
Well, where would you suggest is the best place to see it from?
Oh, the Auroran, you have to be there in the city state. It's it's a distance, but it's capable of getting up there. We me and my husband have been saving up. Once we heard that they were doing a light show, we can't wait. This is going to be our 50th anniversary. Well, 51st, but we don't count that first year. And she shakes her head.
I see.
But yeah, the lights, I've seen pictograms and that place is gorgeous, even as it is today. But the light show on top of that, oh, is going to be something that I will never forget, and I can't wait. It's gonna be miraculous. We got 6 more months for it.
6 more months until the light show.
6 more months till the festival begins. Of course, it's a year long, so like if you're not prepared, you still have plenty of time.
Ah.
So it's like 18 months before the end of the festival and things return to normal.
Okay.
So does the light show go on that entire time?
Oh, I don't know. I would think you would have times to, take a break but I don't know. They say it's lit up all the time. Like there are different types of light shows and different types of lighting, and it's just gorgeous. They research
Sounds like
area
they really
is
know how to throw a party.
and she's like, you know what? Let me show you. I think I have a pictogram over here. And she goes behind and she looks at a shelf. It's got a few trinkets, a lot of boxes, small little like 3 by 3 inch squares. And she's like, going through all of them, and she picks one up and looks at the bottom. And, this one. And she brings over a cube. It's gray, metallic gray, kind of a matte finish. And she presses on the top, the entire top, the lid floats up. I mean, it gets pushed up from the little machine from inside, and then it shines a light up, and it shows like a little 3D image of a spire building. It goes up and it twists around and it goes straight up into the air, and it looks like it's a pretty tall building. Probably maybe 50 floors. Do we have 50 floors? Yeah. Anyways, so it kind of goes up and it twirls and twists, and it shows in the light of day. There are areas of the building where it's nice and shiny. It reflects the light, and as the sun kind of moves, because it seems to be a time lapse, the sun moves and you see the shadow move, and the iridescent sheen on parts of the building kind of change colors, almost like a rainbow, much like a pearlescent sheen to it. It is a solid spire that goes up. There are some areas where it looks like there's like maybe it's a hotel, maybe it's a business building, maybe it's apartments or something like that, and you see balconies and stuff. But the smooth areas, or as the sun turns, like areas you see highlights of pink and blue and purple, maybe some green in there. And it moves down and up the building. As the sun starts to set, you see that on the outside, on the border of like the areas between the balconies and the smooth aspects of the building, start to light up. Not like turn on, but more like a mood lighting, where they start to increase as the sun set. And then there's mood lighting on the bottom of the whole building that starts to light the whole thing up, and it's a light show of its own, and the colors seem to mimic those of the day, where they fade from one color to the next, and then you see the sun kind of rise up on the other side and kind of repeats itself. Isn't it gorgeous? So beautiful. And she's just staring at it longingly, like it is the most beautiful thing she's ever seen.
Huh. Yeah, I would say that would be amazing. That's quite some work they've done there.
And being that you were in that city state for a brief moment, you do recall the shape of the building being similar to some of the ones that you've seen. In fact, the one location that you had picked up your previous employer um, was kind of a similar um, shape, maybe on a smaller scale.
Okay.
But it was more land bound. The one that she was showing is closer to the ocean.
Mm.
Almost like they created an island just to put that place there for its own sake. The one you went to was just a lot more inland and might have been a predecessor.
Right. Okay.
But you do recognize that the materials are the same, and perhaps if you had stayed there, if you hadn't like gone to bed when you did and noticed, took a little better look around you, you might have seen the same or similar lighting.
Right.
But it was business. You weren't quite enjoying the area like a tourist.
Right.
So, and she taps the top again, and it lowers, and the image disappears, and she puts the cube away. So, yeah, a whole year of that on a more grand scale, if you can imagine that. I cannot, but this is going to be our second honeymoon, you could say, and I can't wait. And you hear this sound, Betty. It's the cook in the back. Serves up. It's like, oh, sorry guys, I gotta get going. But if there's anything you need, let me know. I will try my best to help you out.
Okay, Miss Betty, we don't want you to get in trouble.
Oh, don't you worry about me. I'm actually his boss, so I'm gonna have a talk with him and about his attitude later. But I do. My customers are my boss, though. I do need to get going. But yeah, you guys, you have a good day, and I will see you around.
Thanks for the information.
She nods her head, turns around, and she kind of just saunters off. And she's, squat lady. She's got, big old round booty and just a nicer round. She's just a round person, a round
Mhm.
face, a round everything, and is just, quite adorable as she walks around. She grabs a tray and she walks off to the other, through the doorway to the other room where all of the other tavern or all the other patrons are. Okay, so Greg kind of cleans off his plates and he's sitting there going, "Yeah, sounds like fun, but I don't know. Not a lot of drinking, sounds like."
It's all about the drinking with you, is it?
Oh, it's the party. Drinks are just a part of it, It's all the girls and the women's and the music and I heard that Wharfbrig throws a really good party.
But she also didn't say that there was no drinking. She just said that it was gorgeous and talked about the lights and stuff. For all we
Yeah,
know, there is all kinds of drinking.
well, that's women for you. I don't think there's going to be much. It's probably just I don't know. I've never really been to Warren.
I bet Miss Betty could drink you under the table.
Maybe. I doubt it. Um, so with that, let's fast forward to the next. Let's fast forward to 3 days in the future. Nikolai um has did the auction anonymously on your account and purchased your staff, and he is currently on his way to get it. We are going to say, let's say it's around post lunch.
I gotta mute.
I'm sorry?
I gotta mute for a few minutes.
Oh, go ahead and mute. That's fine. So post lunchtime, 3 days later, Nikolai is on his way to get your staff. Let's see. Do you want to do any recon before he comes back?
A recon of what?
The location or the job you're going to be doing for him.
Did he give me any of that information?
He told you where it was, and you've got the internet.
Sure.
Because you have your sim chip, you can now explore and do as much information digging as you to your heart's content.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'll look into the place.
Okay. So you do a little bit of digging, and from what you can tell, as far as the trades go for the Wharfburg, the trades to this town, which I don't seem to have the name for right now, has been a consistent thing for quite some time. It was probably established when the trade was established fairly early on in Wharfburg's history. Thing is, that town did not benefit from Wharfburg's growth as much as other locations. There were turf wars, there were negotiations processes that failed, contracts that took advantage of the local town. And it wasn't until the last 16 years that they were able to actually do more growing and less stagnant. But the last entry of information of requests for trade was 4 months ago. And then there hasn't been any traffic since. No information going in or out. And the major trade that you noticed that's this little town is known for is a mining town. Basically, it's a mining town. They mine specific materials for the process to make parts for androids, for robots, for and it is the part that makes them the most human in a way. So the basic robot, engineers don't necessarily need it. Plus, it's a little high priced for them. It's usually for people who want androids that are like Kronk, basically, or Mina, or things that are a lot more human-like. And in some degrees, it's also used for parts to help give other people upgrades for getting for amputees or for getting I forget what it's called. Synthetic parts, basically.
Okay.
Legs, arms, eyeballs. Just to replace here and there, hands. The last entry was 4 months ago, and it was put under Nikolai's name. He was the last one to have it ordered. May not have been physically there, but it was under his name that anyone was the batteries are a different component. But this mineral is taken and put together, and it's highly priced. It's an expensive material, expensive mineral to dig, and there are other veins. There are other ways to get it. They do not have a monopoly over it, but it is the one major way for this town to thrive.
Okay.
Let me look at trying to remember if I actually wrote down this.
And what does he want me to do there? Did he tell me what he wants me to do?
Well, he says that trade there has been halted, difficult. He's actually lost a few caravans in transport. They've disappeared. No word from him.
Right. Hmm. Regarding the shipment, right? So that there wouldn't.
And he wants it's a combination like investigation, escort, kind of thing. Wants you to look into it and see if he can't, because he would himself, but he's running a business and he has so many other veins and so many other expenditures that he can't go investigate one thing while he's transporting another. So
Right.
it would be a big favor for him if that could be done. Because his schedule is full, and he's got
Mhm.
other people who work under him that he does not want to risk sending out.
Right. No.
And adamantine, I think. Yes, it would be adamantine.
Mm.
Blah, 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 blah. So, is there anything prior to his arrival that you want to take care of?
No.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Absolutely, Ginger. Yes. By now the update has finished. In fact, the day that you had it initiated, it took roughly around 5 hours for it to complete. After that, your vision went back to normal. The buzzing in your head kind of stopped, which, to be honest, after 30 minutes, you kind of ignored it, and it was different once it stopped, and it was that alone lets you know that the update was finished, and your eyes kind of fluttered, and vision went back to normal, and you could see clearly again. And it'd be better if you did that.
Clearly now the rain,
The rain
has
is gone. Yeah, so you can but it probably would be better if you did that, at a different time. Um, not impossible, but at the same time. So, yes, the update took about 5 hours. The changes are very subtle. You probably you definitely would not have noticed if you had done the update, like maybe when you were shut down or sleeping. But your eyesight kind of improved. Everything turned a little more crystal clear. You could say had more of a extra color placed in, maybe, technicolor-ish. You can't quite put your finger on it, but everything has a sharper edge to it now. And there's what else was there? Vision was your thinking is a little more clear. You're pretty sure that meditating would be hell of a lot easier now to get into. Doesn't take nearly as long. And you have a sense that there might be a few more updates, but a few more changes, but these are just your basic function ones. You might have to explore and practice to see what else has changed. But for the most part, that's just the basic thing that you can notice right away. Food processed the exact same way. Your insides burned the calories just like incinerator. And digestive system works the same, basically. So yeah, 3 days later, Nikolai shows up, and he's got this big package, brown wrapping all the way around this long cylinder thing, and he's got this big old grin on his face, like, I got a gift for you. Feeling a bit like that mythical creature, the Saint-Non, Saturn,
Santa.
the big red. Oh yeah, Saturn, that big dude. Anyways, here you go. And he has it in both of his hands, and he hands it to you, Sardell.
Okay. Well, I take the time to relish in the moment of having my spear back.
Okay.
Don't you want to check it over to make sure the police didn't screw with it or damage it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, do I feel the connection again?
You can sense, like, as he's handing it to you, you feel this almost magnetic vibration where it's like almost pulling itself towards you, and almost like it's gonna snap into your hands if you were to just wait too long to grab it. And then the vibration, once you have it in your hands, you could almost swear that underneath that packaging, that it might even be glowing, if it were to do that sort of a thing.
Nice.
Being away from it. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, being away from it for as long as you have, I would say that might require a bit of an attunement, but that's just like a short rest. Being that it was made for you and sculpted for you, it's not gonna take long.
I think it missed you.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed it.
Nikolai looks at you. That was that cost a pretty penny, so I'm gonna need you to check out that town if you don't mind, and I've got a few other things. I I kind of want you to do this other one first, though, if you wouldn't mind. Okay.
Sure.
So on my way, I went to a local eatery called the Skilled Magpie. Excuse me, the Skilled Magpie. It's a nice little place. You should go there. Have some good sandwiches. The priestess that runs the place, Sherry, she told me something very troublesome, that her niece Jessica disappeared 2 days ago,
Hmm.
and she hasn't seen her since. And she's a nice woman. Almost could say she's a good friend. We've known each other quite some time, helped each other out, and kept our businesses running. Would be a good solid to me if you could find her niece.
All right. Do we have any leads?
Last she was seen was she works at hang on, is this the right place? Yeah. She works at the Laughing Docks. The
Laughing Dogs?
the Laughing Docks, DOX.
Is this a tavern?
This is a nightclub. It's she's a waitress there. She serves drinks, and her aunt kept trying to tell her she could work at the Magpie, but she's young, early 20s, and just wanted something exciting, the nightlife and whatnot. And it's it's full of people her own age, and she made really good money, but yeah, she just didn't come home from work that the other night.
Is she the type to get involved in illicit substances?
No, she's a good girl. She's very, not by the book, but she's got a good head on her shoulders. Been saving up for higher education. Wanted to go to not Vorak. Wanted to go to Loyaldist. Nope, Lil Hall. Sorry.
Low.
She wanted to go to Lil Hall and get some higher education in the government and learn a little bit more about copyright, policyholders, business, and stuff like that. Like, it's a great place for that kind of thing. I wouldn't want to live there, but they're highly respected in their education, and would do her some real good. She almost, what am I saying? She should still be around. God, I hope so. So yeah, you should check over there and see see who saw her last. And hopefully she's still around.
Right. All right. Well, what kind of place is this? I'm gonna check out what the dress code is, if there's any pictures online of what it looks like on the inside, so that we can.
Okay, so you pull it up on
Take the phone.
your ring, and it comes up with the internet. And Nikolai excused himself. He's got some errands to run. He got you your and he drops off a box with like some other stuff that you had before, your armor and anything that might have been enhanced weaponry kind of thing. Like the items listed that you may not necessarily could
Things he thought was yours.
yeah,
Mhm.
basically stuff that you went into the
Police station. The
police
lockup.
station with. Yep, basically. There might be a few items missing, one or two like that they just kind of didn't include on the list of auction or
Mhm.
whatever, but
Yeah.
minor things that probably like boots, If they didn't have any, enchantments or anything, they're just regular boots, they're probably not there.
Right.
That sort of stuff. Um,
So I've got my Platinum Eagle armor back.
sure. Yep. Um,
No, I probably can't wear it. Otherwise, I'd be immediately tagged. But
right. But it's yours. It's in your possession. Do what you please.
Okay.
And being that it's in the box, you kind of assume that it was probably a whole package deal. The Obsidian staff, of course, was separate, sold for more. The box was like one of those mystery box purchases or
Here's a
whatever.
box of stuff.
Here's a
Bid on it.
armor, just written on it.
Uh,
So you pull
So
up
would they
the
have known what kind of armor it was?
yeah,
I guess
do.
they wouldn't have sold the uniform. Would have kept it for
No.
somebody else, right?
No, if it's official government, they kept that stuff. But anything generic and basic that you could buy anywhere almost, or
Yeah. The only things that would really have been stuff that I needed and got lost would have been my spear and my shield.
yeah. So like you got your shield back.
And the 5 gold or whatever gigs that I had before we started.
No, that's gone.
Random
Wow.
question.
Yep.
Is there a way that I'd be able to contact Mr. Universe to ask a question?
Do you check
Since,
your file?
Well, we did the update.
You did the
That was
update.
the
Yep.
last thing that I had gotten.
You received a file from him. You check your inbox and messages that you've received in the past, and there is nothing there. There is no evidence that you received a message.
Dang it. Dang it. I was
Yep.
hoping I had a way to contact Mr. Universe, considering he showed a special interest.
Right.
They showed a special interest, I think.
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to be a way to
Reach out.
ring to him. But as you might recall on the first meeting, he's got his eyes on you. So if you want to contact him or get his attention, you could probably do so. You might have to be a little creative about it. So the magpie. No, not the magpie. The laughing ducks. It comes up on
Laughing
your
duck.
screen. You forgot what?
No, I said the laughing ducks.
Yep, the laughing ducks. Comes up on your screen, and it is it's not far, but you could take a hovercraft to get there a little bit quicker. I would say like maybe 15 miles. And it is owned by Flagar Whitbrewer. And they have owned, or this person has owned this building or this business for the last 2 years.
Okay.
It is a very popular, very high class, almost bar for the young and upcoming kids. There is, there's drinks, not really any food. It is definitely a club. You can tell from the photos that are taken on the inside, it's very much a place where people just go to get drunk, hook up with one another. They have an app, a dating app, in their name. And people can just get there to hook up and meet, and it's kind of like Tinder.
If Tinder was a bar.
I'm sorry?
If Tinder was a bar.
if Tinder was a bar, if Tinder had a bar. Lots of partying. They have a lot of events. There's events almost every night. Different themes, different DJs visiting from other parts of Warfburg or other city states. Um, uh, ladies' nights and that sort of thing. There's sometimes you see like photos of women dancing on poles or on bars, and same for the guys. And then there's NB nights, and it's kind of crazy, but it looks pretty entertaining as well.
Right. Cool. What kind of dress is it? Would we look at a place?
If you're looking at the photos, it's the basic. You
Casual?
don't see anything. Yeah, it's casual, but you don't see anything where it's like it's not really underground. So as long as you don't show up looking like you came from prison or in a brawl, or just nice clothing. Just nice clothing is really what all the photos show.
Like a nice
Maybe
bar night.
do what?
Like a nice bar night.
Yep, just really nice clothing. Like the equivalent of like polos and khakis. With skirts, but nothing, no glitter, no shiny stuff, no formal dress. But also no rip. Huh?
Oh, no shiny stuff.
No shiny stuff. It's not formal. It's not semi-formal. But there isn't anybody there with like ripped jeans or black leather vests. And Greg is kind of looking over your shoulder. Well, that does not look like my crowd.
So are you saying you're out on this one?
Oh, maybe.
I mean, we're all out to interrogate. It's not like we're gonna have any fighting.
True.
I figured he would have liked the picture of the gals dancing.
He enjoyed the photo. But he just kind of was like, I don't know. I'll come with you. I'll come with you. It's fine. Club is open in a few minutes, and of course goes through the night. And what would you guys like to do?
Well, just get ready to go to the club. Get all dressed up and.
Okay. So you like change your clothes, get something nicer.
Yeah.
Okay. Greg.
Should we go talk to the mother also?
We could do that
Or
too.
should we start at the club?
Greg kind of nods. We probably should know what the girl looks like. We got a name, but that's it.
True.
So,
crap, where was Mom at again? Magpie.
Yep.
Skilled
Yes.
Magpie.
The Skilled Magpie. Which if you look up on your, I'm assuming you're gonna look that one up too.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the ring of Thorndale, or the back of your glove, you can pull up the image of the Skilled Magpie. It's a nice little deli, basically. The front shows, a bunch of windows, people inside eating, and there's a bunch of things going around on the inside. If you scroll and look in some more, look at other photos, you can see there are many different contraptions going around. There's words escape me when I need them. A conveyor belts going up and around the sides of the location, and plates on there with foods that are going by with little lids on them, clear lids that you can see on the inside, and little
It's like
hovering.
the little restaurants with the conveyor belts that has the food on it, like the sushi joint.
Yep.
A little sushi joint.
Yes.
Yep. Except this is I mean there's might be some sushi, but it's mostly deli, so there are a bunch of sandwiches going around, some bowls of soup. Actually the soups are in the hover dispensers.
Hover pots.
Which I'm sorry?
Hover pots.
Basically. So there are these what look like kind of teapot shaped, but they have several different spouts going around this outside, like 8 of them, and one, is full of hot items, soups and hot drinks, cocoa and apple cider,
No.
coffee, and then another one is, it'll show that it says cold, so it'll be, cold drinks, beer, soda, water, that kind of thing, and or even like soft serve ice cream. And they're just hovercrafts, so they're floating around, and you just kind of hold up your plate or hold up your bowl glass and tell it which one you want, and it rotates and comes out with the right pour spout, and it pours it up to the amount that's you need, with 8-ounce,
Suitable
10-ounce,
amount for the
12-ounce.
cup.
And kind of a all-you-can-eat buffet in a way. And you can see there's also a picture of Sherry. She is a very thin lady, kind of proper. She wears an apron and a skirt that kind of like goes to the floor, and her shirt is kind of long, kind of flowy. Something that you definitely wouldn't be in the kitchen with. So kind of almost the opposite of Betty, but not quite. Her hair is dark and long and kind of tied up in a shoulder hair ponytail. And she's just standing there pleasantly smiling at the camera. Kind of maybe a promo
Have you taken the picture
photo.
moment yet?
Yes, yep. And yeah, that is the magpie.
All right. So we go find the mom and see if we can get a picture of the girl.
All right, sounds like a plan. Greg kind of stands up from where he was sitting, and he's like, "Well, how are we gonna get there?"
How far away is it from our current location?
You can take a trolley. It'll take 5 minutes, and the next pickup is just a few minutes away. It is on the corner of opposite of where the police box actually was.
We might want to head on to go get on the trolley.
All right. So you head on over there. You might have to, hustle, run, half jog, half walk. Get there, and you get there just in time. The last bell kind of rings, ding, 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 as you all jump on the trolley, which does not have any doors. It's just open. There's a couple of seats, but you can also stand if you like. It moves on, goes on, and continues its way through. There's no option to pay, at least not on the trolley itself. There is a signal that shows up on your sim chip and says donations, offers, go to have it paid. But mostly it's paid by the government and the people's taxes. So if you are a visitor, you could donate if you wish. Minimum, or not minimum, suggested donation is what is it? 1 megabyte. Yeah.
Yeah.
1 megabyte, which is kind of the equivalent to $1. Does anybody do so? And if so, let me know. I can mark it down on my side.
Well,
I
I
could
do.
donate 3
I'll
gigs for
donate
the
the
3 of
dollar.
us. Or 3. Oh my god, I just said 3 gigs. I'm going back to bed.
Ooh, 3K. That's a lot to donate.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So Sarndell, you're starting with 2 gig and you're gonna donate 1 meg?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ginger?
I was gonna donate 3 for 1 for each of us.
Okay.
You know, since he did buy my battery.
Okay. 3 meg.
Thank you for not putting down 3 gigs.
You only have 2 to give if you did, so.
Mm-mm.
What do you mean? What?
You said in the email he gave me 5.
Oh, I did, didn't I? Yes, I did. I forgot.
Mhm.
Give you 5.
I accidentally deleted my character sheet, but I do remember that.
That's fine. No, I do. You're right. And an intelligence check would tell you that the 5 gig is probably because that batteries are going to be expensive, and they're going to be a normal part of your life. Or any other maintenance or repairs or anything like that. So you get there, easy peasy. Not hard to miss. Like I said, they had big windows in the front. There's probably like 8 windows, and it's on a corner, so it goes around. You can see through to the other side, and it is big and open, and it's bright, and there's pastel colors all over the place. It's quaint. It's cute.
Pretty.
It's pretty, yes, and and they do desserts as well, and so you can see like through the window the food that goes around, and so it's kind of enticing too because it comes through the front. You see all the food that's not being picked up, and it's like, well, I could eat. Strawberry pies, angel food cake, all that sort of thing, going through past the window, as well as all the sandwiches and the salads and all that stuff. So you guys go through, enter the residence or the business.
Business, yep, absolutely.
All right. The moment you walk in, both of you roll for perception.
Hang on 1 second.
Sure. 10.
I got an 18.
Wow. That's with your modifier?
Who are you asking?
Ginger. He said he got an 18.
Well, I actually just found the character sheet we were sending back and forth, and it says perception +4.
Okay. Is that with the +4?
No, the 18 is what I rolled.
Oh,
So that would be 22.
good to know. Chris?
I said 10.
Oh, you got 10. I did not hear that. Okay. Is that with your modifier as well?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, Chris, Sarndell, as soon as he walks in, he feels vibrant, alive, awake, alert. Feels really good. But doesn't really notice anything else.
Well,
It's nice. It's jolly in here. It's a vast difference from the tavern. You just assume that it's just, different atmosphere. The music is nice too. Ginger, as soon as Kronk walks in, you feel the same. You are energized. You are excited. Things are great. You're even optimistic. It is just amazing to walk in there. You notice that there is when you walk in the door, there's a line, laser line, a green laser line going on either side of the entryway. And it's like you walked through something, maybe a force field of some sort, or maybe it was a scanner, and you felt it affected you. You noticed that it was kind of bringing you up a little bit. If you had been injured, you're pretty sure it would have healed or repaired whatever was wrong or ailed you. Even in your synthetic body, you're pretty sure because you would be connected to. There's like a grid inside, and it would have helped heal or repair whatever was connected to you. It's the building. It's something in the building. In fact, you're pretty sure that it is a
It's where they put the Pokeballs in the Poke Centers.
It's the what?
It's where they put the Pokeballs in the Poke Centers.
Pokeballs in the Poke Centers.
to heal the
Like for you to play
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah. Nurse, what was her name? Nurse June?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where she took the Pokeballs and she set them over in the little side.
It's
Dee.
huh. I don't know. I don't think I've seen that. I'll take your word for it. I didn't really watch Pokemon. But yeah, the building is set as there's a fine green line grid going around the whole area and through that just is made for healing. Makes people feel good. Might even be the reason why people keep coming back once they walk in. Because of all the regulars that are there, which you can tell it's busy. It's not crowded, but at the same time, there is very, very few empty seats. You almost feel like you have to wait to get a seat. But there's no line, which is odd. And as you come up into you are greeted by the very person you saw in the photograph on the internet. Miss Sherry walks up and she kind of floats up. Her legs are quite long and lithe, and she kind of doesn't really have a bounce to her walk, and she just kind of moves up in front of you and gently says, "Hello, welcome to the Skilled Magpie. Is there anything I can do for you? We are limited on seating right now, but I'm sure something will open up in just a few."
Well, we're not here actually to eat. We're here to speak to you. This is the mother, right? That's what he said.
This is Sherry.
Yeah,
Yep.
Miss Sherry was the mother.
Oh, really?
Yes, we were under the understanding that your daughter has been missing for a while and we're looking into it.
Her expression kind of turns a little sad. Yes, my niece, I think, is who you're speaking with. I've been watching her, and I've practically raised her, so I guess you could say she is like a daughter. Come this way. Let's step into my office. And she turns around and she walks off down an area towards the back. And just before getting to the kitchen, she makes a turn where there is an employee area with restrooms, and then the office is just beyond that.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you all follow.
Yeah.
And she is behind the door and holds it open and says, "Please have a seat." And there's a couch and a couple of chairs. There's a desk, um, oak desk. It's kind of a basic office. It's not too fancy, but it's not too, um, you know,
Great crash.
yeah. It's nice. It's somewhere, you could work. There's a carpet, and then there's some paintings up, and um, there's a bookshelf in the back, and there's a small little chair that you think could be like an area for reading. That's maybe she uses for break time, downtime between shifts or whatnot. It's cozy. It's cozy. Um, a glimpse over by the bathrooms, you can see there's a corner, and there's a break room, kind of decorated similar. So you might guess that she treats her employees the way she would have wanted to if she was working for herself.
Right.
um, the last of you comes in, Greg trailing behind. He steps aside and she closes the door, and with a click she says, "Yes, well, um, Jessica, she," and she makes her way over to the desk and sits down behind it, um, "hasn't contacted me in 48 hours, and she was supposed to be home after her last shift.
Oh,
Sometimes she
I
does stay late, but not like this."
see.
I take it her last shift was 2 days ago.
Well, the beginning of her last shift. She works overnight, so it's tonight. It'll be 2 days. So it's there's been times where she'll stay and have a couple of drinks, and she'll stay at a friend's house, but because it's on the other side of the um, uh, town district of where we live, it's easier for her to stay at a friend's house than it is to come all the way home inebriated. So, but she usually lets me know and tells me, and she's home the next day, especially since these 2 days are supposed to be her day off, um, and she sometimes well, she usually tells me where she's at, and I haven't heard from her. And anytime I send her a message, I get the same response on her from her sim.
Do you have a picture of
And
her?
I do. She pulls up her own SIM card, which is on her bracelet. It's a smooth piece of gold, kind of like those ID medical bracelets. And she presses on the edge, and it comes up with a photo, and it shows a young woman in her 20s. She's got red hair, some freckles, human, just like Miss Sherry. And She's got a kind of a button nose, high cheekbones. She's smiling. Um, no makeup. And she's uh, just a regular, young teenager slash early 20s lady that just a normal person.
Okay. Is this a picture that we can take with us so we can ask questions?
Oh, absolutely. She presses a few buttons and asks you to turn on your SIM card, in which
I
you hit,
do.
yeah, you do, and the image transfers, and you have the same profile projected up on your screen.
Was she concerned about anything in the last couple of days? Did she act like anybody was out for her? Any enemies that you might know?
No, she's been working more nights than usual, doing some extra time, but nothing out of the ordinary. Um, she has been rather tired, but I figured that was because she was working so hard. I asked her if she would take an extended break after she was done with all of these shifts, and she said, um, you know, she would, but yeah, I haven't seen her since the since our last conversation, which was the day before she disappeared.
By chance, has she told you that she met someone new that she might be interested in?
No, she's very private.
Private?
She keeps to herself. If there was anyone, I would say it was a gentleman who was a regular here. But I think he hasn't been seen for at least a week. I think maybe she was working extra hours because she was upset that she hadn't seen him in a while. Maybe she is kind of a workaholic, so perhaps she wanted to work away the disappointment of rejection. But yeah, he hasn't been seen for a week, and he just comes here for lunches sometimes, and they talk and they chat. It's very pleasant, but and he's very nice. I don't see him as being a threat. Um, but he disappeared. Well, I wouldn't say disappeared. I mean, he travels, so perhaps he's busy. But she was really excited and thinking maybe she would you know, take the initiative and ask him out. Um, but she took on a few extra shifts and got really tired and couldn't show up to their meeting spot, which is right here. So she kind of stayed home, slept in, and um, then she disappeared.
No. Okay. Well, we'll look further into it.
I appreciate it. But may I ask, how did you find out about my niece?
A mutual friend of ours.
Oh, and she thinks for a second. She smiles. Nikolai, I'm sure he sent you. He's such a wonderful man.
Oh, that is correct. He is
Well,
such a great guy.
he is. Is there anything else I don't know. Is there anything I can do to help you? I know the photograph will probably help, but yeah, anything I can do to help you find her. My place is open if you want to do some investigating. My staff, um, you can ask any of them any kind of questions if you like. Though I don't think they're going to be much help. They're just as upset and worried as I am.
Yeah, we'll probably go down to her workplace and see if they know anything.
Okay, that's sounds like a good idea. I honestly don't know the owners. Um they've only been around for a short while, and they they keep to themselves. I don't think anybody really has met them, but I don't know. It's not my scene. It's not my type of business to um investigate, and it's not really anything that I would involve my business with. So um but she's young, and she wanted something new and exciting, and the magpie was a little slow for her, but um and she made good money. She makes very good money there. It's they get a lot of tips.
Thank you very much for the information.
Thank you. Um and she nods her head and um presses a button, and the underneath the desk, and the door opens on its own. She says, "My door is open anytime if you need more information."
Thank you.
And Greg says, "Absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll we'll be back." And he like kind of goes around the corner awkwardly.
Yeah, I
And
leave too.
okay.
Just wondering, by chance, do you have a picture of the guy that she was wanting to meet with?
You know, I don't. I can describe him to you, but he's I don't know. It seemed like he was courting her, but at the same time, it was a fairly new interest. Like maybe for the last 2 months, he's been coming by. Um, Short, kind of a short fellow. Bit shorter than Jessica, but she seemed to not mind. He's brown hair, short brown hair, um, kind of a wide jaw, thick neck, um, broad shoulders. Very kind of muscular, but without really much definition. Um, Probably could work out a little bit more, but she really liked him. And like I said, he seemed pretty pleasant enough. Is that enough? Would that help? Or
Sorry, I was typing. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Have a good afternoon. It goes running out after the other two.
And she says, "You as well," as you turn the corner and leave. Going out the front, some of the waitresses stop and ask if you need a seat. They have a few opened up. Does anyone take it?
No, on our way to the bar.
Okay. The bar is a little more complicated to get to from the Magpie. You end up taking the trolley, a trolley in a different direction, not the one that brought you there. And then you go up on a high rise to another level, and find yourself walking down the bridge sidewalk to this kind of, it's sort of out of place. Doesn't look nearly as elite as the other buildings in the area, but at the same time, it was definitely built along with them. Um, Let me get a perception roll from both of you.
21.
Nice. That's not a number, Ginger.
Holy crap. I just rolled a 20.
A nat 20?
Mm-hmm. That's why I was like, holy crap.
Okay.
This thing has hated me when I've been playing with it.
Okay, so we got a nat 20 and then a 21. All right, so both of you, probably not Greg. I don't have, let me get my dice. Let me see what Greg sees. Da, 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 da.
Greg runs into the door.
What?
I said Greg runs into the door.
Runs into the door.
Mhm. I'm out of juice.
Oh, he rolled a 7. What is his adjust? Do I have an adjustment for that one, or does he? Probably
He
not.
doesn't quite run into the door.
No.
He just pushes instead of pulls.
I like that. So total, probably, I think that's an 8. So, Greg just sees another building. It's just another building. It looks like most of the others. It's a little dark, probably because it's a nightclub, and nothing wrong. So with you guys and your keen eyes and sensibilities, notice that it is not like the other buildings, not in the in other sense. There's a dark essence around it. It
A
is
dark aura.
there is a dark aura that kind of colors and flavors the building. So while the paint job is very similar to the ones around it, it looks darker than the others. There are no windows in the front. And it looks almost like it is supposed to be a parking garage for, private owners, and probably maybe belongs to the building, one of the buildings next to it, and it's just supposed to be a parking garage. You park your stuff, your vehicles in, and then which is possible because there are vehicles that that hover and can rise up into different areas and elements, or maybe like a hovercraft, more of a airborne type of vehicle. Anyways, it looks like it should have been it's more of a garage and a closed area rather than a business area. But that's what it is. It is a clubhouse, a nightclub. And it is enchanted. There is something about it that is not normal. It's not it is enhanced. You can definitely tell there's something about it. You would have to do an Arcana check if you wanted to know what kind. But it's definitely not a normal business.
Oh, yeah, I got 14.
For Arcana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ginger, did you do a roll, or you're just gonna go with what you know? Or what you whatever.
I shouldn't have said a single thing because it's not letting me roll now. Hang on, let me back out. And...
If you're using the app, I have messaged the creators, and they said that they recognize that is a problem. They're trying to fix it.
Okay. Yeah, because it rolled both of those, no problems. And then while I was trying to edit the character sheet and tried to roll, it was just like, no, you're not doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, I've told them
But
that.
if you back out of the character sheet and you go into the dice itself, it'll let you roll.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I rolled a 14, and going off the sheet, it was a +4. So that
Okay.
would be an 18.
Okay. I'm sorry, Chris, what did you get? A 14?
14.
And that's with your adjustment?
Yep.
Okay. So 14 and 18. Chris, you know that it's a type of actually wait, what is it? Where are the I need the categories.
Wait. I looked at the wrong thing. I don't need to be checking a perception check then. I need to look at the Arcana on skills, right?
Skill check.
Yes. Arcana is a
Okay, so
is the
then
thing.
I rolled a 15, technically. Because
Oh,
I told
okay.
you the wrong number.
Right. Where is my show me Accio spell where we go. Okay. All right. So the 14, so we got a 14 and 15. You guys know that it is a enchantment. The place is enchanted. It's not apparent what the enchantment is from the outside, but you're pretty sure that going inside, you would be able to discern what it is or what it does. But there is an enchantment on the building. It is a spell cast into the structure itself, and it would have to be dispelled either ritualist. Oh my god!
Ritually?
Yes, it would have to be a ritual, or just tear down the building. But there is an enchantment placed on the building.
Do we know what kind of enchantment?
You'd have to go inside, but you're pretty sure once you are inside, you would figure it out. So, do you do so? Greg is standing there going like, what are you guys looking at?
So it's been 3 hours. How long are we playing tonight?
Oh, you know what? Let's call it here. Sorry, I was not paying attention to the time. Yes, let's call it at this point. Before you enter, let me take my notes.
Before we enter into the Vox, the docks.
Via
The laughing
investigation.
dog.
The laughing ducks. You know, and it was supposed to be the laughing dog, but I misspelled it, and I looked at it. I was like, I'm going with it. Fuck it.
I honestly, when you said it, I thought you were saying the laughing ox, like the animal ox.
Yeah, sure.
And then the third
I
time I
heard-
heard you say it, I thought it was the laughing box.
Well, I heard the docks, but I was like thinking about docks where you put a boat. She was working at the
That
docks.
was time number 2.
You what? What time number 2?
What he said, where he thought it was laughing docks, like DOCKS.
Right. Yeah, I know it was a very bad, like, I don't know. It's one of those things that we can laugh at. It's funny. So I realize, or I recognize that I haven't leveled you guys up. You guys have gone through quite a bit. I think I recall you guys saying that you didn't care if I did milestone or XP. Am I right
Yeah.
on that?
Yeah.
Ginger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, as far as your characters go, well, we're doing milestones because you've only had 2 fights technically, and they were kind of mild. And then there was the prison break, um, traveling with hostile NPCs essentially, and then and you guys started at level 3. So go ahead and bump your characters up to level 4.
Okay.
We'll just say that that's pretty much everything your characters have gone through to this point would definitely put them at level 4. Is that fair, or are you guys like maybe that's too generous?
That's fair.
Fair? Okay. I figured as much with all that they've gone through is investigating and reporting and that sort of thing. So yeah. We'll start please put in the Discord for the D&D part of how you updated your characters, what new spells you got, and all that other stuff. So that way I can also be on the same page as you guys. And yeah, so last thing, we've missed quite a few sessions. Do you guys want to meet up again next week just to make up, and then we'll go back to our every other week?
I could let me just double check that.
If not, it's totally fine.
You know what I totally forgot?
What?
The cuff he has on. The scroll
what?
cuff thing. I don't know if we ever gave it an actual name, but the description was like a scroll cuff. It was like a scroll that was in the shape of a cuff on his wrist.
Yeah, the scroll, it's kind of an anonymous, like, you have to get it identified, but it is a spell.
I completely forgot about it until
No.
just now.
It's a spell, you can use it, but you have to get it identified first before you can figure out if it's even something you can use. I think I have that on your character part, but maybe should be updated.
Because I found my, like the one from the very first one that we did, where I was playing around, and that's listed on there.
Yeah, it's a bracelet cuff thing, and yeah, I remember that. Actually, it would be in the other page, but I'll write it down. Chris?
Yeah.
What was the result? Can we do this again next week, or is there something? Okay.
Yep.
Ginger?
Well, as long as something doesn't happen.
Okay. Keep me updated on your health. Hopefully, if it gets too bad, go to the hospital. So we will join next week just to make up for lost time, and then we'll go back to every other week. Agreed?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Thank you guys. Sorry went so late. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Have a good night too.
Thank you.
Uh,
See ya.
maybe I can talk.